Alright, so I'm just working on some doors this morning here, as you can see. Just using some 1/8 square tooth, or 1/8 plate, and then the rest of the deck is 3/16 plate, so it's going to give us a nice 1/16 gap under the doors for some seals. So hopefully we can keep these things nice and dry in there. And then I just started to work on some hinges too, as you can see. And I just welded them all on there through the holes that are pre-drilled, because there's some square tubing that goes under there. If you can, I'll show you here. See, it's got this square tubing there for support the whole way along the cabinet. So if I drilled a bolt in here, it'd be hitting on that, and same over here too. So just welded those, ground them flat. I think it looks okay. And then, so now I think I'm going to come in here and cut out my handles. Cut those in there and on the other side too. Well, I'm just working on some struts for this thing now. That should work. Because there's nothing worse than trying to grab something out of your damn toolbox and stupid things trying to fall in your face. Well, I pretty much got this thing ready for paint now, so I'm just starting to do a little bit of body work to it. Because it'll be mostly fine, but you see like where I put a weld behind here? You can feel that, like it pushes out because the heat behind there kind of warps the metal out a bit. So if you just paint over that, you see those little lines after. So I just kind of go around here with some sandpaper and my grinder and just kind of knock the top off of it and then sand it until it kind of starts to become flat in one piece and you can't feel it anymore. Well, I got some primer shot on this thing yesterday and it's looking pretty good. I could probably paint it right now as is, but I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time this morning here and just block out the sides completely so it's just perfectly flat with no imperfections at all. And then yeah, hopefully get some paint shot on this thing this afternoon. What do you guys think of that? Flat black. I'm just gonna say that stuff is not very easy to spray on there and have it look nice and consistent like that, but it did take me 3 tries, I'm gonna say that. It wasn't very easy, but I think I got it figured out now. Well, I got those taillights in there now, and then I put the fuel fillers in there, and I got the fuel tank in there as well. Pretty sweet. It's just an auxiliary fuel tank for the welder, so I've got a filler going from here to here, and then this will be a vent running up to the welder, and this will just be like a ball valve, so if you ever want to drain the tank. And then this here will go to a 12-volt fuel pump, so then you can drain fuel from that tank up into the welding machine that's there. And it was my neighbor on the other side of this wall here. I got him to build it for me. And check it out, he did a super good job on this thing. Fits perfect, so in the future if anybody wants a fuel tank in their deck, I'm just gonna get him to do it because he did it super quick and fit perfect, no complaints. So check him out, I'll put his Instagram here on the screen and you can go see what he does. Super good with the aluminum and stuff. Well, before I get this thing on the truck and it gets in my way and stuff, I'm going to build a set of traction bars first. So you can see I just cope one side out with my coping tool here, and then once you do that you can tack a bushing in there. And then once you've tacked your bushing in there, you can measure from the outside of this, and if you want 5-foot bars, measure 5 feet from the outside, make a mark, and then that will be the inside of your next cope. So you just line up your coping tool with that mark you just made, and then at the end it'll turn out so center to center will be 5 feet exactly, or however long you want to do your bars. Alright, almost ready to put it on. I got the truck in here now, as you can see. I just got to build up some airbags this morning and put my traction bars on that I built yesterday. And cut that muffler off, or the whole exhaust, so it's out of my way. And then yeah, be able to get the stack on there finally. Well, I got both my airbag brackets made up here now, as you can see. And I got them bolted in place there, and now I just gotta come in here with some air, and I can just give it a bit of air and tack it down. And that's where it'll go. Airbags all ready to go. So I think I'm gonna pull them all apart now and get some paint on all this stuff. And there's brackets up there too, and my airbags, or my traction bars here. And yeah, then we should be pretty good to go. Get this thing on there. Just getting a new set of headlights ready for this thing. Just taking out the halogens, swapping them for some LEDs. Just put a new set of mirrors on this thing. The old ones just have a couple cracks in it, so might as well. Looking pretty good now. The spare tire mechanism. Don't think we need that. Now we got more room for another fuel tank. Somewhere under there. There you go, all good to go now. So we're ready to get the deck on. Well, I got it on there, all fits up good. Wheel wells all line up, and all the bolts went in perfect as they should, and the hitch at the back here lines up perfect. I don't think you can get any closer than that. So yeah, now I can just get the exhaust figured out today, just from the front of the truck up to here, and then I got to build the stack right there coming out or something, and get these fuel fillers hooked up, and then the truck will be drivable again, and I can go tune it and build the transmission stuff, and then we can start bolting everything onto it. It's got a nice SA200 short hood that's going to be up there, and a new set of lumen reels and everything, so should be pretty sweet. I'm just trying to salvage some of this old pipe. This was like the part that went over the axle before and then out the back of the truck. So I'm just trying to salvage some of that and turn it into a new exhaust for the stack here. This was also just a salvaged piece of pipe off an old, I don't know, like a big truck. It came up and then out a lot further, but I like cut it down. And I mean, in the plan it was designed to supposed to be like a straight, and then I was going to miter cut it and then have it go out and cut it. But we just had this laying around, so we'll figure we'll use this. I mean, it can be changed at any time. See, it's just bolt on. So yeah, got that there. Looks not too bad. Looks pretty cool from the front too. Cutting up this right now. Get this the rest of the exhaust finished here. I'll fire it up, see what it sounds like. Well, we're getting there now. I got the wiring for the lights all done, and the stack is all plumbed in to the exhaust and everything like that. Fired up yesterday. It actually sounds pretty good. It wasn't very loud in the cab, surprisingly, but yeah, it sounds pretty good. And yeah, obviously we still need to get tires for this thing. That's coming, don't worry. And I got the fuel fillers done this morning. Let's just have a little look here. So you can see that one over there, diesel tank up into one fuel filler, and then the other fuel filler goes to the gas tank right here. And so yeah, truck's all drivable again, ready to go. So today I'm going to install a shift kit in the transmission and throw one of my 6-level tunes in it as well. But I'm going to make a whole separate video on that, so you're going to have to subscribe and wait for that one to come out. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, so yeah, I'll be driving it today, testing it out, and then we're going to start putting the welder on here. SA 200 short hood, a set of brand new Luma reels, and then I'm going to build some bottle racks and a big another toolbox slip tank here. And I actually got Saul, my neighbor, building another tank for this thing that's going to be going up under here. So there's going to be a fuel tank here, fuel tank on the deck, the fuel tank under here too, and then like the welder's fuel tank and the truck's fuel tank. So this thing's going to be pretty ridiculous. Well, I got this thing ripping around now. I got all the exhaust and everything done, and the deck's bolted down, and I put a shift kit in it yesterday, so it shifts really nice now, and one of my 6-level tunes as well. That's in there, ready to go. We got 12-valve tunes and race tunes and all kinds of stuff. So now, I'm going to start putting some tools on here, like the welder and the spools and everything. So I got this SA 200 short hood here we're going to start by putting on there. This is just his backup machine. We're just going to run for now. And then in the future he's going to put his better one on. He's got a nice restored one that's all painted up and everything. So yeah, I'm just going to get some brackets built for this thing this morning and then get it bolted on here. There we go, got a nice old SA 200 short hood on there. Ready to go. If you ever tried one of these things, you'll know these weld way nicer than like what I have, like a Ranger or like a Vantage or anything. Those old machines, they're the way to go. So now, got a set of brand new Luma reels here. Black Luma reels too. So now I just gotta figure out how to get those things up on there. Get some tree built. So I think we're gonna do like ground stinger and then extension cord over here, and then the oxygen acetylene spool over here. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now, but check it out, stack's looking much better now. If my camera would focus here for us. There we go. Stack looks way better now that we got some stuff on there. Well, we're getting pretty close now. I got the spools up there and all bolted down and everything. Fresh set of new cables on there, and see, it's just bolted to the deck so it can be removed in the future. And there's lots of room to get in here to your fuel fillers for both the tanks, and you can easily come in here and get to your welder really easy, no problem at all. So it's nice. And then we got a set of, I just built this so you can put your stands on there, like your javelin stands like these. They just sit up on there, and you get 8 of them up there. And then right behind that we got the 2 oxygen bottles sitting on top of each other. Just a nice simple little rack keeping them in there. And I think he's going to put a propane bottle holder up here because we got a good bit of real estate up there. And as you can see, we got the acetylene bottles up there too, and the spool. keep the stack nice and hidden back there too. I cut that stack by hand too. I just like kind of eyeballed a mark on it and just zipped it with the zip cut, and it turned out pretty much exactly where I wanted it to be. Pretty happy with that. Looks pretty sweet too. You should see it from the front here. You can just see it sticking out the side a little bit. It's pretty cool. Super fun to drive around too, because you can see it in the mirror and it just sounds awesome. But yeah, we're getting super close now. We're just kind of not recording very much, making very many videos right now, because he wants to take this thing to work in like 4 days. So almost done. Couple more little things. I just got to plumb in the rear fuel tank that's back here, and the one that's up there today, and get the airbags plumbed in. I got like a control in the cab and stuff like that, and I want to build a air tank out of some of the square tubing here, mounted under the truck, and plumb it into the air compressor it has. And then yeah, we're pretty much done. So this thing already has like an exhaust brake on it down there, and it has like an air compressor here to power it. And as you can see, it just has a pressure switch here, and then it goes directly into the three-way valve and then down to the exhaust brake. So when you flick it on, it sees this opens, it sees a pressure drop in here from this sensor, and then it says, hey, kick the pump on. But it's okay, but you turn your exhaust brake on, and then because this is the only air that you have in your system spare, this is your only air reservoir right here, is this line, then it's a bit of a delay before the brake comes on, because it has to build pressure to open it, because the piston on the exhaust brake is a larger air volume than just this little area here. So to fix that, and just see there's a T here, I'm going to put an air fitting on here and run a hose out of there to the back of the truck, right underneath there, and then I just designed a tank here. It's just some square tubing like what I use on some of my headache racks, and I capped off both ends with a little mounting point, and then tapped in some MPT fittings. So now I'll be able to put this under there and just run it a line straight from there up to the tank, and now that pump, the air compressor, will fill this thing up and keep it filled at all times. So when you turn your exhaust brake on, it'll kick on instantly, because it already has a lot of pressure waiting to go already in here. And then I can bring out another hose out of here and put it right here in the back corner, so then you can fill up his tires or whatever, have an air fitting there, so you can fill up your tires or have a little air blow gun or whatever you want to do. So yeah, just building the tank here real quick, and then we'll get the airbags and everything plumbed up. Well, I got that tank bolted in there under the deck there, and I ran the lines over here to this quick release fitting so we can fill up your tires and stuff like that. And I also ran some more lines in here to this little gauge and switches, and this is the airbag pressures, so I can control the ride height on the truck and pump the bags up and stuff like that in the rear. Because you see how it's like super low and tucked in there, actually comes up like 3 or 4 inches with the airbags pumped up, so it's pretty nice because you can keep it super low to work off, but then when you want to drive away and leave sight, you just pump it up when you're driving, and then yeah, it's good to go. Lots of clearance, no problems. Well, I got that lower tank all plumbed in now. You can see I have 2 fittings tapped into the fillet neck of the welder, so one will be a feed and one's like a return vent, so as the fuel is being pumped up in there, there's somewhere for the air to go back into here. And then also, then I don't have to worry about a vent down here, because it can just use the welder's vent now. And I'll just show you under here real quick. You can see the bottom of the tank sucks up into a fuel pump, and then out up to the welder, and then the vent comes back into the top here. And there's the filler for the gas and filler for the diesel. I just still got to put a plug in there, and I just put a simple switch right here if you want to fill it.
much you pay for that?
There we go, it's all done. Optimal welding Texas pipeliner style. Looks pretty sweet if you ask me. Got that big fuel tank toolbox on the back. That thing can be removed at any time. It's only 3 bolts and put it on, take it off, whatever you gotta do. Got all your spools and everything. All your toolboxes on the side here. Oh yeah, and I got my 6-level switchable tunes with the 12-valve tune and everything too. Now we're on the 12-valve tune. So yeah, if you want to build one of these things, I'm going to have the plans up on my website, optimalwelding.com. You can go pick that up and you can build one yourself, or send me a message, I'll build you one if you want me to build you one. Or yeah, check out my website and you can get my 6-level tunes too. And then you can be 12-valving, just like this guy. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. I'm pretty happy with it.